I mean, I'm pretty sure it's been more than 2 weeks since the last ROFC video. I'm pretty sure at least one of you, if not all 8 of you, have been dying for the next episode. But it's here now, yay! Sorry for using so many assets from ROFC 14A. But it's ROFC Discord Team Flare update time too! Let's see how the Team Flare counts changed. Well, that was disappointing. Only one more person was added to the sample, and that person is on Team Samer. However, it does mean that Samer Gamer is now undoubtedly the most popular ROFCer. Alien and RX, you have some catching up to do. Anyway, in ROFC 13B, I asked you the 14th prompt, which is, what evidence could possibly justify Santa Claus existing in real life? All 8 of you responded to that prompt. 46 voters cast 366 votes, which is slightly more than last time, but not by much. Each response received 45 or 46 votes, averaging at 45.75. Now watch in awe as I reveal the new results interface. And here's the new interface. As you can see, it's inspired by, and is pretty much a carbon copy of, TWOW's interface from 17B onward. The results are shown two-dimensionally, as you can see by the chart. The green area indicates where you need to land to be safe. An arrow will drop until it hits your score, so you'll slowly fill with dread as the arrow drops. I've also color-coded the scoreboard with the same colors as the Team Flare colors on the ROFC Discord. Anyway, Alien Dude 321 is up first. He said, magic things beyond the physical realm of science. Well, Santa clearly defies all the laws of science as we know them. How else could he deliver gifts to hundreds of millions of children within a few hours? Let's see what the voters think about this. It seems you haven't quite been on your game lately. That's 2 consecutive responses rated below a 5 by the voters. Also, for the first time in a while, you are not yet guaranteed safe into ROFC 15. Next up is Anonymous, who said, Santa Claus exists, but your parents are Santa. Alright, it does make sense, our parents are giving us all the gifts that we happen to receive. There's no magical being involved in the process, it's as simple as buy the present, wrap it, and put it under the tree. Now let's see what the voters have to say about this response. Whoa, this response was really controversial. Note the huge number of voters who heavily disagreed and the number of voters who heavily agreed. That seems to be a characteristic of controversial responses, and unfortunately, this response was not good enough to overtake Alien Duke 321, so you're not safe into ROFC 15 yet. Ed King is up third. His response was, many men have white beards, he could be among us. Now, Ed King, you got to play the score guessing game. You guessed that your response would score a 5.481. If your response happens to get exactly that score, you'll earn 10,000 points. Oh, and you'll also be safe in the ROFC 15. By the way, the score needed to be safe is calculated ignoring prizes, so the actual score you need to be guaranteed safe is far less than 5.34. Now let's see how you did. Whoa, you far exceeded your expectations. For getting within 0.78 of your actual score, you get a reward of 5,618 points. That reward is enough to put you above even Alien Duke 321 on the leaderboard. Fourth up is Object Show author. This author wrote, "The Grinch can get Christmas if Santa wasn't real." We've got ourselves a good point here. If Santa did not exist, he would not be there to stop the Grinch from stealing Christmas. But then again, the Grinch failed at stealing Christmas even when Santa received no mention in the story, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong. So maybe Santa could just not exist and keep everything fine and dandy. Let's see what the voters think of this. It seems the voters consider this a meh response. Nothing too special here. There's a really low standard deviation, and an average is close to 5 and not enough to guarantee Object Show authors safety into ROFC 15. we're at the halfway mark already. 5th up is RX the Lion, who said, he exists because the gifts say, from Santa. Duh. Well, that does sound like a logical reason to back up Santa's existence, alright. I mean, those little to from tags on nearly every present present perfect proof. Wow, I didn't mean to alliterate there. Anyway, let's see what the voters have to say. Well, with this kind of voter rating distribution, I expect your score to be higher than 5.196. Oh well, I guess the 0s and 1s combined with the 10s make this response too controversial to be guaranteed safe into ROFC 15. 6th up is Tony Bo, who said, nothing, but we still have a lot of fun on Christmas. I wonder what's up with that grammar. But still, this is quite an optimistic response. We're in the bottom 3 though, so it's time to get serious. In order to be guaranteed safe into ROFC 15, you need to get at least a 6.512. Basically, the top 5 are almost immune. I mean, how can 3 consecutive people score that high or even higher for the bottom 2? So even if you don't get a 6.512, you should still be safe if you get a good score. Let's see what score you got. Oh no, this is the lowest score we've seen so far. We can only hope that you'll survive in order to appease your one supporter on the ROFC Discord. Yourself. Hey, that's not an insult. After all, you're supposed to be your own biggest fan, RX the Lion. Second last up is a Doctor Who said, if something is impossible without his existence. A short and sweet answer, Doctor. Hopefully, voters liked your response. If you want to avoid being in that dreaded bottom 2, you need to score at least a 5.059, or barely above average. Was your response good enough to do that? Let's see. I guess the voters did not like the short and sweet answer this time. This must be really disappointing for Jojo Ate Your Taco, your only supporter. Anyway, your fate now rests in the hands of Samer Gamer. Samer Gamer. It all comes down to you and a Doctor Who. In order to avoid elimination yet again, you must score at least a 3.537. That seems pretty low, but remember that a Doctor Who got even lower. Your response must still be decent. Speaking of your response, it was, he is real, I saw him advertising several stores. Now let's see how you did. Wow, you, whom you have called a possible efficiency champion, actually got 2nd place in this prompt, and you were one of only 3 contestants to get above a 5. However, that means a Doctor Who is eliminated. A Doctor Who, you started off meh with a 5.086 in ROFC 1, then you improved greatly with a 5.892 in ROFC 2. A 4.552 in ROFC 3 wasn't very good, but no one did very good that episode. However, a 4.088 in ROFC 4 couldn't be excused. You were salvaged by a 5.5 in ROFC 5, then you did mediocre with a 4.925 in ROFC 6. A 5.286 in ROFC 7 was pretty good, a 5.743 in ROFC 8 was awesome, and a 6.553 in ROFC 9 was spectacular. However, after that, you declined. A 4.742 in ROFC 10 wasn't very good. Even though a 5.115 in ROFC 11 seems good, nearly everyone did amazing that episode, so it actually wasn't very good. In ROFC 12, you got a 5.711, surprisingly straight in the middle of the pack. However, a second to last place finish in ROFC 13 with a 4.073, and a last place finish here with a 3.239 sent you packing. Goodbye. These are the old ROFC simulation results. I've actually renovated the ROFC simulation program, so watch in awe as I reveal the new simulation results. As you can see, I've renovated my ROFC simulation program and the elimination odds slide. It now shows every ROFCer's chance of getting every rank. How do you like it? And yes, I know some of the text is cut off or missing. I'll now tell you the hidden odds. Ed King, you have a 1.5% chance of getting 5th, a 0.11% chance of getting 6th, and less than a 0.0001% chance of getting 7th. Alien Duke 321, you have a 1.01% chance of getting 6th, and a 0.01% chance of getting 7th. Anonymous, you have a 0.78% chance of getting 7th. Object Show Author, you have a 2.93% chance of getting 7th. RX the Lion, you have a 3.47% chance of getting 7th. Samer Gamer, you have a 1.20% chance of winning and a 2.60% chance of getting 2nd. Tony Bow, you have a 0.58% chance of winning, a 1.32% chance of getting 2nd, and a 2.55% chance of getting 3rd. Anyway, now for my observations. This is unscripted so you can hear my raw reactions. So Ed King, you are really on track to winning now. You are the first ROFCer to have more than a 50% chance of winning ROFC. In fact, there's less than a 10% chance you'll end up not in the podium, or the top 3. Alien Dude 321, you need to step up your game. Seriously, you should probably start catching up to Ed King, but that will be difficult considering Ed King's prize this episode. Interestingly, every ROFCer's highest odds, except for Object Show Author, correspond to what place they are currently in on the leaderboard. Object Show Author, the 4th place ROFCer, has his highest odds at 5th place rather than 4th place. Now, it's interesting to note that Ed King's chance of winning ROFC is higher than Tony Bow's chance of surviving this episode, the next episode rather, which is really saying something. For the remaining 7 of you, it's time for ROFC 15. You 7 are now in the top 23% of ROFC. The 15th prompt was suggested by Samer Gamer in ROFC 5. It is, what would happen if I suddenly gained 1 million YouTube subscribers? However, there's a twist this time, suggested by Discord user 10 words of 50 characters. Everyone gets the double response prize, like in TWOW. Ed King, for winning, you get to submit 4 responses, and only the best one will count. Also, the maximum score is now 40,000 to commemorate the fact that you are the top 1/4 of ROFC. Send in your response by January 27th, 2017 using the form in the description. I'll see you all in ROFC 15A.